Good evening. Tonight, we are granted special access to our first edition of meeting my co-host tonight, Scottie.
Hi, how are you?
So I know everybody's used to seeing a whole round table of people. This feels oddly
Small,
empty.
intimate,
Naked.
Lonely.
intimate.
Naked.
But we still are joined by our producer in chair tonight. Show yourself.
Yo.
Great Oz.
What's up?
So this is your little baby. Batch had the dream of putting us at the forefront
He thinks we have chemistry together.
based on our we don't.
We do.
Oh, I was feeling it too.
He saw it.
Yeah. He was like, "What zodiac sign does Lyndsey repel the most?"
Me.
Virgos.
Me.
You guys know about all that stuff. So.
Yeah, me. And I said Virgo, and she was like, crap.
No, everybody that knows me in my real life knows that I don't know. It's a Virgo I know I should run for the hills, but it like gets me every time. And it's like we're magnetized, but then there's like a major repel, and it's
100%.
Usually
It's like
you
good,
repelling.
yet bad.
Do you think we'll make it through the show without the repel?
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Okay. Well, I'm really excited that we finally have someone that's on a dating app and has been on these dating apps, because Batch is not ready to do this yet, right?
What, being on a dating app?
Yeah, I
No,
mean,
We're going to get you there.
tonight we did.
Not tonight, but we're going to get you there.
I just want to go on listen, my goal this year is to go on a date.
Like
Where does he think this is happening? Like, do you think, okay, this is a great introduction, because why are people using dating apps?
Because they're impatient
Impatient for what?
for dates.
Finding true love?
Yeah, they're trying to like, it's basically like, oh, I don't have a boyfriend. I need a boyfriend.
I
It's a
think
to-do list.
No.
the dating apps are more like people are afraid to be vulnerable, and there's an easier way to be behind this glass or mirror, and you just give yourself what you want to give. When you're on a physical date, you have to give it. You're there.
Yeah, I mean,
You can't run away.
A dating app seems like it's a lot of. It seems like a lot of time to invest in something.
It is.
For me,
I mean, I got shit.
It's
to do.
filtering. It's filtering.
okay, see, you think it's a lot of time to invest. I think a lot of people are going on there for pure boredom. They are curing their boredom. They're like, I'm bored right now.
Sometimes, yeah.
It's like going on Instagram. Like, hey, I'm going to check it. And then,
Well, that's why I have the gambling apps.
but those aren't waiting for you at home at night.
Are you shitting me? They're waiting for me all the time.
I think,
Let's see receipts.
Oh, I can show you my phone. I'm
Yeah.
pretty good right now.
I think it's also that instant gratification, right? Like, we had a couple episodes, we talked about like, who doesn't love turning on their dating app and seeing 100 people that swiped right on them? Like, that's a huge like ego boost. So I really think that sometimes people are going on with no intent to ever meet these people.
Sometimes.
It's just like an ego fill. It's like, you're filling my bucket. You gave me like that, and that's all I need. I don't need to go on the date. I know that people still find me attractive or like me or want to go out with me, and I'm good.
So let me ask you this. So when I go on the apps, you go on the apps, percentage-wise, how many people do you actually physically meet up with? Just like, I'm not saying what you're doing, just like if it's coffee, dinner, friends, what? Fun. Like what? Like, I think it's a really low number.
I think we're worried Scottie hasn't watched the show before. You know, my numbers are low in all realms,
Yeah.
despite what Batch says
But
about
I'm just
me.
like, bringing it into this conversation.
Well, we had that episode where we talked about like trash roulette, where we go into the archives.
The whole process with Lyndsey, like, you can explain it. I'm not. I don't
No, okay. There's like the rings of fire is what they refer to.
She's like, so you didn't do your homework, so one, I'm mad. Two, I got to explain.
All right, guys. We have a free co-host seat over here for anyone else that would like to dib on this. No. Yeah, there was a lot of like this criteria in the beginning, and my counterparts here have like asked me to tone it down. So I have. But even with that said, the one thing I hear about guys is girls.
You have to do a Zoom interview.
You do. Well, actually, one person ducked out yesterday.
Or what's the thing on your phone? I don't have FaceTime, man.
No, I actually did recently go out with someone
You required a FaceTime?
for a date or for a relationship or like every
No,
night.
before, like prior to meeting up.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes, okay.
Or I'm fair, I'm equitable, or a Zoom link, or a Google Meet.
But she also makes him stand behind at the convenience store, so she knows how tall they really are.
Oh my God.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so we're at the point, though, I will tell you, there is a list of people that I've swiped on,
Okay.
but I think everybody has mood-based swipes, okay? Right? Like, one night, my expectations and my standards might not have been as on par as
Are those MBSs?
So they've been archived. So we swiped and then they said something and I never said anything back. And I think we've talked about how many are in my archive. And it's quite a few. And I never went out with them and never talked to them. But it's like, I don't know.
And there's always a few that are like you talk to every once in a while.
It's hard to
like you're like app buddies, but you never hang out. Do you get any of those? Like I have a couple of those.
Well, I will tell you, one of the people
Like
that I
they'll
went
be like,
with-
hey, like what's up? How you been? And I'm like, good. You know, like we're just like doing a circle here. But okay, I'm good.
So one of the people that I went out with, maybe like a month or two ago, was somebody that I kept matching with on different apps, and we'd always like be like, hey, in the volley, and then like it would never transpire or go anywhere.
Okay.
And then we actually did go out, and it was fine. It was good.
Are you still chatting?
Yeah, we're still chatting.
Okay.
Wait,
That's
was
just
that-
like which person.
I don't know. They all have nicknames. I don't know which one this was.
No, this person didn't have a nickname. Annie had an Android, and there's a lot of things that I let go. But okay,
Oh.
so right now there's 181 in my archive. So I will tell you, the one thing I hear from guys all the time is like, they're like, oh, it's so easy for girls on apps.
No.
They're like, I get maybe one like as a dude every day. I don't know what to tell you. You know why I'm getting more likes? Because every guy on there that likes me, it says like, what do you want? What are you looking for? And it says, don't know yet, which means you just want to hook up. Like, right? If you put
Yes.
don't know yet, that's to hook up, right?
Yes.
I'm getting the code right?
Yes. And what baffles me the most is when people hit me up and they have nothing in their profile. Like they just have like a name and maybe an age, nothing, no picture, nothing. I'm like, dude, like, no.
How am I supposed you're like, how am I supposed to judge you? Like just on this one picture, it's probably like you're catfishing me.
You're wasting my time. I'm not gonna call Neve on Catfish and be like, you know.
I will say I did call somebody out the other day, which was the first time where he was like, he kept hitting me up and I was like, hey, yo, I'm so sorry. I swiped on you and it says looking for something casual. And I'm like, I'm not looking to just hook up here. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. Like we actually had a mature conversation. Whereas like,
That's a
I
rare
think
event.
a lot of the dudes are like, oh, what? Like, I'm just, if I find something and it goes somewhere, great. Like, I'm not against finding love, but like, I'm on here just to like go out and hook up. And so for me, people are using the apps, 1, to feel good about themselves, 2, because they're bored, 3, because it's just so easy and accessible.
Yeah, sure.
And to be honest, it takes out the weird, awkward interview that I call interrogation off a first date. So I kind of like that. Like,
Well, your interrogation is a different level of interrogation.
So I enjoy a first date. I like a good first
I do
date.
too. I think it's fun, exciting, and
Yeah.
you're on your best behavior and you're like just feeling them out.
Yeah. I like first
I mean,
dates.
I like a first date, but I like knowing all the things like where you're from, what are you doing? Like,
But I will tell you this
Like
though, about
already knowing
first
that.
dates, I always go where no one knows me. I will never go on a first date at my regular spots.
I do the same thing. I have to get out of the
So
Can
what?
you imagine us going to our regular spots?
I feel like if I saw you on a date, I would approach you and be very
course you would.
respectful.
You'd be like, hey, introduce me to your friend. My name's Mike.
So that's another thing that's come up that I've talked to guys before, and they say like they have like 3 places or 1 place, and that's where they go.
I do too.
And I'm like,
And I won't
ooh.
specify.
And I'm like, ooh, okay, but like, I just feel like, what is that saying to like the wait staff or like the bartender? I'm just like, you're keeping a revolving door here. Like,
No, I think it's more about you don't want to run into your friends who are going to like screw up the date and say something silly or stupid
Yeah.
and embarrass you. Like my friends would possibly do, or I would possibly do to them.
Yeah, I like to say, like, is there somewhere near you that you would like to go? Or
Yeah, or hey, like there's a nice place near me where my friends don't go all the time. It's a neutral zone.
I'm like, hey, do you want to go to, I don't know where I'd take them. I have to go to Barrica, and that's not a good idea.
oh God.
He
wanna
takes him,
be-
he takes
No
him to
girls
Elmo
going to
Rose
Bavaria.
and he gets drunk
No
off
girls going to
Guinness.
No, I got people know me there too. Like I have to go to like I can't go to Nashua anymore.
But,
I
like,
mean,
my thing is, all my friends are
You go to the
married.
99.
Like, I'm not worried about seeing people out. I have actually run into people.
But you got to understand, like, we have this like downtown. We know everybody downtown.
Yes,
we go to one place, we know somebody.
Yeah, we're way more social than you are.
Not like that. He's being silly. But like literally, I could walk into restaurant ABC and I'll know someone.
Well, I have run into people, which is interesting because I ran into somebody, high school guy that I went to high school with, and I was on a date with somebody else, and he had tried messaging me on apps like previously, but then like I matched with somebody and I was like trying to date them, and so like I didn't really get back to him. I just happened to be at a restaurant on a date with somebody else, and he was there with his family, and his like brother actually like came up to me and said something. He was like, "Yo, who's this douche?" But like I don't. What's the big deal if you run into people? Like people know you're dating.
You just want to be left alone so you can focus on your date.
I think that's the Virgo. You want to be left alone.
I don't.
That's
no.
the running theme.
No.
That's the running theme.
Okay, that's you're coming for me. 1, 2. You just want to like just
I'm
be.
in love with you. Like
you want to focus on the date. You don't want to be distracted by your friends being like in the background.
I feel like.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't want people to meet my friends until after they.
Oh.
I need to prep them pretty heavily first.
So like, how long does it take for you to say like, I'm talking to somebody, I met somebody?
I tell them right. I tell them right away. I don't lie about that, but
I usually wait till I've gotten them pregnant. No, that's not
I
true.
mean, I don't have to wait because I'm here on a podcast telling everybody about mine. So no, but like for me, I'm like, what information am I holding into? Like at this point, it's like, yeah, you have a roster of like 7 to 10 people that you're hanging back and forth and deciding whether you're going out. Like what harm is it being like, hey, yeah, friend, I'm going out on another date again? Like I don't think that's
7
a big
to
deal.
10. God, I'm
exhausted.
I need a filing cabinet. Can we go to Staples? I need to get organized.
Stop. No.
Max, can you drive me to Chelmsford?
But that's also like another thing. I do have a bit of, I don't want to say the word guilt, but there is a weird feeling about talking to multiple people. It has taken me a bit to do that. You've been in a relationship. I was married, and I am super happy being in a monogamous relationship, being very loyal. Like I like making that one person happy, and that is good for me. Okay. So then being thrown into like the dating pool, I was like, it's
about labels, and I know people hate that word.
But
labels.
Is it? Because I'm like, you like me, and they're like, oh, but I'm talking to other people. I was like, oh, like my brain is not splitting off 10 ways for 10 different dudes. Like it's taking me a long time to say.
If you're just talking to someone and you're hanging out, whatever, that's cool. But I think when it gets serious, when it gets physical, that's when stuff changes. That's my POV.
I mean, I have made mention that to other guys saying like, hey, like I'm cool with you going on other dates and talking to other people. Like I'm doing the same thing. But like, if you're going to start sleeping with people, like
that changes.
I'm not sure that I'm down with that.
That's fair.
Right?
I think that's fair.
But I also know people are going on there just, to hook up and be casual. And I'm fine with that. Like you do you. It's just
We've all done it.
It's not for me. And I think if I go on there and I'm talking to someone and I'm dating someone and I keep going on dates with them like weekly, I'm like, oh, like we're dating. Do I ask them what they're doing? No, I don't want to know.
Yeah. That's
right?
fair.
Like you keep that. But I do start feeling guilty because then like, what about when they ask you to hang out when you're going on another date? Do you say I'm going on another date or do you say I'm
No, I just say I have other plans, but maybe we could hang out later. I don't think that's mean.
Do you think that
I don't think that's mean.
I mean, do you think that they can see through it?
Believe what you want. Like, they're probably doing the same thing to me, too.
See, everyone's always like, well, what are they doing? I'm like, I don't care what they're doing. I want to operate on that, like, I want to do what I would want someone to do to me. I know, Bach is looking at the sad eyes. You sad, pathetic person,
Lyndsey here, I love her to death. She has such deep emotion. You have such deep emotion.
I know, because I'm sorry.
And that, you know what? You know who your biggest obstacle is? Not a Virgo, yourself.
Yeah,
100%.
Look at you.
This is the chemistry.
Her biggest obstacle is her emotions.
Yeah.
If she had her emotions in Q, it'd be good. She'd be fucking... Well, I shouldn't be swearing. But, she'd be coasting good. But
Just
you
don't
get,
stay clam. You're fine.
but you but that's where that's what gets you. That's what I've noticed. Like even just talking prior to podcast night,
Oh yeah, because my emotional reaction will then control
your brain
everything.
is your biggest enemy.
Oh yeah, well I mean, let's not get started about the anxiety triggered, but
Well,
you know,
I have crippling anxiety, but we can talk about that another day.
I mean that's another obvious thing
Yeah.
we have in common. But I do think
It's like let's share prescriptions later.
I know everyone finds it corny, but yeah,
Henry's not going to work on her.
Oh, it will.
no, I'm the one that's like, I want the black pill that's gonna just make me like black out and go to sleep and shut my brain off because it's always.
You should come out with us one night.
She wants, yeah, come on with us. You'll not remember the weekend.
Well, no, the black pill's the Bill Cosby.
Oh,
Wait, not because he's black, because of the
how he used to take advantage of.
yes,
Yeah.
that wasn't
women.
racist.
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
But you know about, speaking of that, like that was like a big rumor, like off the cuff way back,
What?
that he was doing stuff like that,
Oh.
and like people would talk about it, being like he does freaky crap,
Yeah, that
and then
used
like,
to be accepted. It used
yeah,
to be
like,
acceptable.
they were like, you can't touch him because he's a celebrity, and now they're like, you can touch anything.
I can't believe he's out.
He's like so senile and like, yeah, it's crazy.
That is
But
crazy.
I
like
mean, I'm
people
just-
like other celebrities were like, yeah, he used to do weird stuff,
Well,
and we all knew.
Well, speaking of weird stuff, is like also those profiles that I've seen, and like I appreciate the upfront honesty, but like I don't need to know measurements of things. Like I got a profile the other day that was like, "Hey, I've been told by girls I need to do a fair warning ahead of time," and then like gave me like centimeters and inches, and I'm like, "Yo, like I appreciate
That's
this.
TMI.
I appreciate this, but like one, I think my rule that I've learned about dating apps is if you're saying it, it's probably not true. So like if you're saying you're a nice guy, it's probably not true. If you're saying that you don't like drama, that's probably not
Because
true.
you are drama.
Exactly. Now it's like I really have learned to read between the lines. If you have to put it out there, if you have to say I'm a nice person, if you have to say like I'm not a cheater, then there's something going on here. True?
I agree. I think that the profile should say, this is what I like, this is what I'm looking for, blah, blah, blah. Not, this is me, I'm not that, I'm not that, I'm not that, and I'm not that. That means you are that.
Should we have Scottie look at my profile? We've never actually had anyone look at my dating
I've
app.
never seen your profile.
Okay. Do you want the Hinge one or do you want the Bumble one?
Whatever you want to show.
I still want to start an app called Unhinged.
I mean, because you are looking for every woman that is unhinged and needs mental health help.
Bullshit.
That's your number one attraction level.
No.
Yes, and
I just don't want
earlier,
to be bored. That's all.
exactly. So earlier we were talking about like how do we get you a date, and I think the idea came up. What if we ordered you a date?
Like a mail order bride?
And you were like, nope, nope, nope. I'm saving that for other people. And I just
Well,
feel
no, because then they got to stay there. It's not a date. It's like it's like purchasing.
All right, so you're saying, I hope you, and you said, aren't a serial killer. And I know you're being funny. I know that's humor.
is
it
it?
though?
Is it? Do you know what it's like being a girl on here?
No, I don't. And I can say that.
Exactly.
I can say I don't. 'Cause I don't.
Exactly. I'm like,
Do you think that I don't know what that is either? Like with creepos,
Well,
like,
maybe you should
like
put it on-
Craigslist killer?
maybe you should put it on there.
No.
I do get a lot of replies to that. People do find that interesting. So one person actually responded that today. Let me tell you what they wrote.
I think you need to add more verbiage to your profile.
I try to keep it short and sweet. I think I do a lot of talking and a lot of writing. Do you know how many paragraphs I've written to dudes? And I'm like, oh, wait. you
No, I
actually
think your
don't like
profile
that.
needs some more verbiage. You have a lot of good pictures and you're fun and you're cute,
Oh, look at that.
but you're keeping it very general.
I mean,
I think you need to put on there like what you're really looking for. Like, I'm looking for blah, blah, blah.
So this guy who messaged me today, oh, hey, I'm pretty sure I'm not a serial killer. Smiley face.
He's like, but my name's Dexter.
And I said, that's what they
He's
usually
got 3 names.
But I'm like,
John, Roy,
that's what
Bill.
they usually say.
Yeah.
You're not outing
Yeah.
yourself. And he's like, that's a good point. It's like crazy people not saying they're crazy, which makes sense.
But you are a little crazy.
And I said, it's like every dude on this app saying they're laid back.
But you are a little crazy. But I love you for that. Because I'm a little crazy.
Well, he didn't, in all fairness, he didn't ask if I was crazy.
He just knows.
He just said that's like crazy people saying they're not crazy.
Mhm.
All right. So any other reasons why people are going on dating apps?
It just sounds horrible, honestly. Like, it just sounds like so much work.
It's a lot of stress.
That's why, like, just,
That's why we want to put Batch on one.
well, no, like,
So he
right-
can be stressed with us.
I'd be like, first of all, then I'd be like, oh, so, like, people would be responding, you know, think what to say to them. I just, a friend of mine wants to set me up with somebody, right? I'm like, it's fine. I'm ready for that. I can do that. I want a first date, see how it goes. That seems,
Is this like a real thing?
yeah,
Like someone really has like, hey, Michael, I have someone I want to set you up with. Are you into it?
yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about that. I'm interested in this.
Well, that's all there is.
I mean, I'm not because I know it's not going to happen.
What do you mean it's not going to happen? I'd do
He's
it.
going to flake.
Okay.
I mean, they'll have
what-
to wait till after the summer, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Mhm.
Again, I've been dating.
Seasonal. He's seasonal.
Yeah, I don't date in the summer. There's like we have all these
Oh, hot girl
campaigns,
summer.
Yeah, hug. Single.
all these campaign parties, and there's like vacation.
He's like, I'm up at Hampton Beach with the ladies.
I don't go. What do I? It's
I'm
Seabrook,
kidding.
buddy.
I'm
Seabrook.
kidding.
No.
I mean, you make it
Salisbury.
seem like there's this like plethora of women that you're like interested in and you can't be tied down to one. I honestly can't remember the last time you've talked about being legitimately interested in somebody.
Yeah, I have. You just don't listen to me.
That's actually not true.
Yeah, happens a lot.
No, it doesn't. I'm not going to out anything, so I'm like biting my tongue right now. You're welcome.
No, I don't listen. If it's
You
I
can
know
cut the
it's-
tension with the knife right
I
now.
know it's not the drunk woman that lost her purse in the street and was talking your ear off.
no, that wasn't. That was a friend of mine. That was different.
Yeah.
It's more.
See, I am listening. Person that lost your purse.
That's no. It's more like I don't know. The app thing doesn't appeal to me. Being set up seems like a better idea. People I've had connections with are people that I've met like through other people because at least I have some kind of commonality connection. There's a little bit more of a just not some rando.
Yeah, but that can be super dicey because if you guys don't like each other or you start dating each other and then there's a bad falling out, you have a mutual friend and then that gets oxed.
I never have bad follow. Everybody, I always end things amicably.
I don't know if the other person feels the same.
I haven't done any.
Well, you ended
negative
it
repercussions.
amicably on your end.
Well, no,
that
they
you
usually
feel.
no, they always bring up me. So I'm like, that's all right. That's cool.
Well,
All right, so
speaking of the breakup, is it because you are doing things purposely to get them to break up with you?
No, I can just be myself, and it just works out that way.
no, she's saying psychologically.
Yeah.
Like, are
Like,
you
what-
are you sabotaging because
One,
you
are
just
you
want to be alone?
self-sabotaging? And
No, I wouldn't do
two,
that.
we did watch a funny little meme today about men telling other women that they purposely like water down the date or the text or
They set them
the
up.
because they are doing you a favor because they want you to think they're so dry and whatever that you're the one that becomes disinterested so they don't have to do the breakup. They don't have to be the bad guy. And I can totally and vouch. I mean, that seems like you.
I wouldn't do that.
Okay, tell me why.
I just usually I just act myself, and then eventually the woman gets disinterested.
No.
Seriously, that's what happens.
I think you just keep her like, I'm gonna run it into the ground until they get off.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I kind of think that we're kind of alike in a way, and I'm going to tell you why. It's like we work, we have our family, we have our friends, and that's what we do. And like like my friends are like 90% of my life,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like that because he has 1 million friends, and I have 100,000 friends. You know what I'm saying? It's just different. And then dating someone that changes everything.
I think for me, I always feel like I'm on a really fun ride, and if you want to come, you can come. And not everybody wants to go for that ride, but I'd also like to sometimes maybe step off and go on your ride for a while.
Yep, I know what you mean. I
And
know
a lot
exactly
of people
what you
haven't
mean.
been able to handle my ride. So or I've gone on their ride and I'm like, this ride sucks.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just finding somebody that's got a comparable, like a
But you
compatible.
have to be willing to like be in it. You have to be willing to put effort in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one is gonna be like the perfect Mike partner. That's why I'm not buying someone because those people tend to be submissive, and you wouldn't know what to do with a very submissive, quiet person.
I think he would need to be with someone who's fun.
I think he needs to be with someone that's intellectual.
Yeah.
His pregame is the debate. And we were talking about this over a great plate of potato skins.
Dude, that chicken sandwich, though. That chicken sandwich tonight was ridiculous.
No, but I think that you need to be with someone fun, but also someone who grounds you a little bit. But like,
and pushes him.
Yeah.
He needs that. Like,
yeah.
You need that debate.
Like someone who gets along with
healthy.
your friends, someone who gets along with your dad, like who gets along with, like whatever. Like, there's a lot of people in your life. You don't hang around with like 3 people. You hang out with like a lot of people.
I mean, I think that's important.
And
but
I think that
honest,
balance means something too.
I think
because you don't want to date someone you're like, I love this girl, she's awesome, and like your dad's like, hate her. Red's like, hate her. She's like, hate her.
Red hates everybody.
I don't. Like, I'd probably be.
You know
like,
what I mean? Like
you.
that would bother you. You'd be like, oh, like this is making my life more difficult.
Well,
for me, that's not that important. If I was like being able to pick my perfect like match,
but I'm just saying, like for him, like his friends and that's a lot. That means so much to him.
I get
He's
that.
like me. Like that means something to me. So if they're all having issues, it's gonna be like, ugh.
I don't think like I'm looking for somebody that's gonna be like naturally like not a good fit and like put him on the outs, because we've already talked about Danielle's birthday and you could never be with somebody that makes you not go to parties again.
Yeah, I missed their 40th.
But I think for me, what I think is the most important piece for him is to find somebody that wants to have those deeper level conversations that he can eventually come home to and kind of spew it out a little bit.
Okay.
And they have a little bit of sparring, but they still come together. That's what I feel like is.
And then she goes home.
Maybe she does. Hey, I'm not saying you guys have to live together. Do people have to live together now? No, they don't. No. But I'm saying, like, listen, yeah, maybe you guys don't ever live together, and that's fine. But I think yes, and you also have
like,
to.
Can she make me a bomb ass dinner and then head out?
Dude, do you know how
Mike
nice it'd
wants
be
to
to
cook someone dinner too, though.
Well, no, I like cooking, but it'd be nice to have.
He comes home from work and it's just like, bam, everything he loves right there.
We're going old school, like 1950s.
Well, no,
okay?
Once in a while.
But you know how it is. Like when you do everything for yourself all the time.
Yes, it's exhausting.
So like my friend's wife got me these glasses.
Yeah.
And it was great. Like all I had to do, she took some pictures, gave her the prescription. She took care of it for me. I was like, it was so nice to have somebody actually do something for me. Like that'd be kind of cool every now and then.
Like I used to say to like my old job, like my old bosses, they were all married, kids, whatever, and they were like, blah blah blah, we need you to be here, we need you to be here. I go, snowstorm, blizzard, whatever. I go, do you understand that like I don't have another person to do this? I have to do all of this, and I have to drive 30 miles one way. It's exhausting. I can't do everything.
I mean,
and that's
I don't
like
have a lot to complain about.
And it's not a bad thing.
Super fortunate, but like I will say, like there are times when I tell Mike, like it's just exhausting. Like the upkeep of like a 2,800 square foot house and a yard and a dog and that thing that I gave birth to. I mean, it's a lot, and a job and managing friendships.
Because a lot of people like correlated like, oh, like I am a guy too. I do the same thing. I'm like, no, but like every situation is different.
But I will tell you, like, that's probably the best thing that came out of my divorce is my ex and I really did reminisce about, yes, we had how we had those bickering fights when we were married. And then we're like, he's like, well, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I kind of miss how you used to do this. Like, and I'm like, yeah, I used to like really like bitch about stuff, but I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't mind you going out and mowing the lawn this time. So it is bittersweet, but then again, you know what? I also love coming home and making a piece of toast for dinner and watching whatever I want on TV.
And you are fun to fight with, I will tell you that.
Yeah, because we say like I'm all cool, calm, collected until I'm not. And then like everything's on fire.
So when I was married, my ex-wife, there was one thing she was really bad at, and that was keeping jobs. And I always think about like one of the coolest things about being in like a real relationship, like having 2 incomes has got to be pretty awesome.
It is awesome. What's that like?
I don't know. I mean, imagine like having like another whole.
Well, I didn't want to like
me times 2.
I didn't want to
right. Like if you were with an earner, like it'd be
if you're both like 6 figures, like let's go.
So that's something I think I'd have to be with an earner. I don't want somebody that's like you know,
you think that, but I'm going to tell you
sucking
right
off the
now.
teat, you know, man. I don't think I'd want that.
You always think that you want this like independent woman, and then when guys get her, it's nope. You're attracted to the damsel in distress. You get frustrated that
I don't
you
think
are.
that's me.
It happens. I'm telling you right now. I'm speaking from like complete experience. It was like one of the things that my ex liked about it. He's like, you know, I didn't realize you working all these jobs and paying all the bills and stuff was like so amazing, because now here I am paying for all of them. There is something though that a guy likes the idea of it, but there's something, I don't know what it is. It always goes back to, when one of my, you know, friends is like in a similar
It
situation.
throws off their ego.
It does. They
It
start
does.
having resentment. It just happens. I don't know what it is, Madge. And I'm like, hey,
I can tell you this though, like obviously I'm a out gay man of over 20 years, whatever, but like I would be like, I want to make my own money. I don't want some man to pay for me to do anything. I want to make my own money because it's pride.
and I think, you know,
And if someone made money too, that's fine. But like, I don't want to be taken care of.
And
I have an issue with that.
I
Do you
will go on
mind taking care
record,
of somebody,
like
though?
nobody was being
No, I
taken
want them
care
to
of.
work.
Yeah.
I want them to work because when you get taken care of, you get lazy, and then there's fights about money, and I've seen it all, like both ways, and it just gets ugly. And I've seen so many people split up about money and responsibilities, and I don't like that.
I think there's some truth to that. I wouldn't, if it was,
If they make a little less, a little more, that's fine.
I
but
wouldn't
at least
mind.
do something.
there is something about, I have to admit, you are kind of right. Like, there is something about being
No,
like,
I
I'll
know-
take care of that. Like,
I
it's-
know that I'm right when you said like, oh, I would want just someone to cook a dinner. And I'm thinking, yeah, but you also love the fact that like you got to come pick me up for an event. You do want to have those typical traditional guy roles, that you want to be a helper and a provider. You do.
yeah,
It's
I'll do
about
that.
it's about
And that's not a
few-
bad
it's
thing.
about other generations.
You remember
breaking the
everything.
mold.
Asshole.
But it's about other generations breaking the mold, like
Clinician problems.
because like our parents, they lived those traditional things.
Well,
Mine did.
I
mine
have to tell
didn't.
you, mine
Oh,
didn't.
Mine did.
My mother was the breadwinner, but I also saw that cause problems.
Yep.
And so I always say, like, I'm so fortunate that she created that role model. I will tell you, when I was younger, I hated it. All my friends' moms were like at home and making their lunches and picking them up. And I was like
Going to the
doing the call
fundraisers,
collect at the end of this track meet, giving, Mom, pick me up, you forgot me. And then hang up. So you didn't have to like actually pay for the money on the call collect. You guys ever do that?
She's like, "Hi, Mom, I'm in jail. Pick me up. It's $500."
But
Did
yeah.
you live in Westford? You couldn't just have the nanny come get you?
Again, I don't want to date myself, but like,
I don't blame you. I'm
well,
sorry.
you tell me all the time I'm undateable.
I don't say that.
Westford was tree farmish when I was there.
Mhm.
Old lady.
Back in the '60s,
No
You got
nanny.
trees of money.
Yeah, no.
there's no car dealerships back then.
No. My dad was a landscaper. My mom worked in the
There was no
hospital.
market basket.
Oh, really?
There was no market basket back then.
What, in Westford?
There was one, and there's only still one stoplight.
No,
We
that's
don't allow-
bullshit. There's a
The
million
one at
stoplights.
the one at the Boston Road exit.
We don't allow drive-throughs still. I mean, at the end of the day,
By the way, I'm in favor of that.
You know what the other town that does it has that is Watertown. You cannot have a drive there.
It's not that bad.
They have a town ruling on it.
well, I'll tell you one thing. It is very terrible when you have a child, an infant. Because I remember being, you know, a new mom, and I had to like go get like a prescription, and I'm like, oh, normally I wouldn't go in. I wouldn't do a drive. Like, then it was like drive through life. Can I go to Target and have them bring it to my car? Yeah, because I have my infant and all this stuff, and I don't want to like unbundle them, put them in whatever. So yeah, I'll tell you that. When I became a mom, I was like, drive through, pickup galore. Done.
I mean, Target's been doing that long.
Target is now doing curbside.
Curbside. Home Depot does curbside.
Yeah, they all
Lowe's
do
does curbside.
Yeah, but how do you know?
You just go through the
Oh,
thing and say,
no.
"I'm here."
Oh no, we have to talk about technology.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie, this happened with my dad, and I have to just say this because it's bothering me that you're on the same level. So I ordered something on Lowe's, and I needed his pickup truck to go pick it up, and it was curbside. So what you do is you're gonna go to the parking spot that has a ginormous sign that says pickup, and it'll say number one.
No, I understand that.
No,
but how do you know? How do you
wait.
know like what you're getting? Like, how do you know
Wait.
how many bags of this they have?
Wait
how many
for
know
it.
to get the?
If you're Ron Souza, you decide, oh, I'm going to Lowe's and I'm gonna just pick up whatever I need.
Okay, if his name's Ron Sousa, he's gonna go do it himself.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
And I'm not-
Portuguese.
100%.
He takes his pickup truck.
And he's
he
not
goes-
gonna go to Lowe's. He's
I'm
gonna go
like-
to Home Depot to save a couple
No,
bucks.
it was my money. It was my money. So he's just
Oh,
driving.
Lyndsey, she rich.
She's just driving me
She
there.
rich.
I'm like, all right, Dad, you got to go to the spots in the front. Oh yeah. Goes all the way to like where the contractors do, like like the business.
Yeah.
I'm
They
like,
do-
Dad, we're
where they
not.
do the big pickup.
I'm like, we're not a contractor. You need to go around to. And he's like, no, we're gonna park here. I'm gonna go in. I go, do you know what curbside pickup is? It means they bring it on the curb. He's like, I'm gonna go in. I gotta inspect it before they bring
Yeah,
it.
exactly. You
I'm
gotta see what you
like,
get before you do it.
No,
This is a Portuguese dad.
I had never been so embarrassed in my life, and I was like, just
Like if you're buying plants, you gotta get the crappy plants. You gotta get the good ones. You gotta look.
you don't do curbside for plants. It's like getting like lumber or
yeah, I mean,
or like
yeah. I
or
was
like
getting
wall-
wall.
a grill or
I was getting
something.
wall paneling, like. Just
It's
bring
in a
out the
box.
stuff.
It's in a box.
Bring out the stuff and put it in. That's
Oh,
why it's
alright.
called curbside pickup.
So she prepaid. That's all it is. It's a prepaid.
exactly.
Wait, would you just go to the contractor though? The contract thing if you pick it up.
Dad should just hang with you, Dad.
Ronzo,
it's like
I got the perfect person for
It's like
you.
the grocery thing when people go like they have the groceries delivered. I would never have that done.
I do it all the time. It's amazing. Do not tell my father.
Are you
Every
kidding me?
single-
My dad would be like, "You
Oh,
paid how
He would
much?"
be like, the tax, the tip, that's where they get you.
How do you even know what you're getting though?
Don't care. I'm
You're
like,
so lazy.
My father goes to Market Basket every day. He lies
Mine
about
does
it.
too.
I don't understand that everyday market
Because
basket
it's special.
people.
He's got like
No.
he shops like he's in Europe. Like they
My
gotta just
dad-
shop for that day.
I
That
have,
is awesome
I have
when you're
like
in Europe,
900 million Portuguese friends. They go here. The way he acts
And my dad will go to different market baskets.
for different things, and they watch the sales. So if there's like a Stop and Shop
That's
sale,
a little ridiculous.
if there's a Stop and Shop sale
I-
on chicken, makes an extra big trip to go get it.
My dad's definitely not going to Stop and Shop.
No, but if it's a sale though,
Does it? Nope.
No, it's not worth
Nope.
it. It's always cheaper.
He'll be like
Market
market basket, and he'll be like, I'll just wait
Got a
for.
selection.
He'll wait for the manager's special red tag.
Listen, so something happened today because I was at Market Basket. I know this isn't about what we're
Something
talking about.
happened is we realized you're in the same genre as my dad.
There's nothing wrong with that. I never met the man, and I'm sure he's pretty sweet. But like when you go to Market Basket, right?
you
And
get more for your dollar.
and you're looking at the aisles, right? And you're looking like a basket or whatever. And you maybe there's like not a bunch of lines because if there's lines, you go to the shortest lines. But if you've got options, do you assess the checkout
Yes.
girl to
Yes.
see which
Yes.
one
Yes.
you do?
Yes.
Okay, so that's not unusual.
No.
I'll be like, have I seen her? I look at both, like bagger and checkout.
Yeah, like somebody has a mask on, I'm not going to them because
I
they don't
couldn't
like to
care less.
work because they're
It just depends.
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
I'm in the store being like, I need to get out of here. I need
No,
to
but
get
that's the
out of
thing. You
here.
don't want to get stuck behind the slow
And
bagger.
then I'm mad at myself for being cheap and not paying the tip and whatever for it to be delivered because I
Oh man, I
lose
look.
my life in the grocery
Oh
store.
my god, I remember, and
I
then the
can't.
bagger too. Like you're like that kid just sucks at bagging groceries, and he talks.
I'm
a
gonna
lot.
come home
Who
with bread
cares?
that's like,
No, because it's just especially
You
with
know.
the paper now. Man, you got to assess the whole thing. You
I'll
can't
tell
just
you
go
one
through the
thing. I
line.
hate a paper bag. I don't care.
I
I
don't
know
mind
this
that.
I do have
Come after
I
me.
have the reusables and I use them, but like I feel like they like take 10 years to open
I
them
feel
up.
like they're like
I'm like, let's go.
I don't use the reusable.
Like,
you're
take-
like the
just go like
bag
this.
lady. Like it's just ick.
I miss the plastic bags.
So do
I go to Nashua every 3 months to get some plastic bags.
I
But
use
I
them for
can't-
the bathroom trash.
I
Yeah.
can't speak of it because those who know me well know there's like one thing that I can't live without.
Which
And
is
it's a straw.
I love plastic straws.
Give me a plastic straw for everything. A soda,
Screw-
a water,
screw
a
the
coffee,
turtles.
a hot coffee. I know, I feel bad for these damn turtles, but like haven't they learned yet?
Screw the turtles.
Listen, everybody knows that once the turtles quit doing cocaine, they're not going to need that many straws anymore. We just got to get
I'm
them
not
out
worried
the.
about them.
We got to get them out the blow.
I'm not worried about them. They're the least of my problems.
The turtles.
Yeah, you got to get them off the blow, and then there'll be no more straws in the oceans.
All right, what else did we get up on here?
Do we have anything else we need to discuss?
Oh, Bumble's new feature. You guys want to be updated?
All right, let's make that. That's
I-
our finale.
I do feel like every time I'm on here, I'm to educate
Old
this
people.
full room
Senior citizens.
and our clientele about what's going on in the world of dating apps, right? It does get dicey, I will say, when I start like actually dating somebody and then I'm like, by the way, I'm still on the apps because like I'm on the podcast and they're like, Yeah, okay, Lyndsey. But I was on here and they have really made it, I think, easier for socially awkward people because there is a
Why
new
is she looking at me, Scotty?
there's a new feature that if I hit these marks here, it gives me prompted questions in case I don't know how to talk to people.
Oh, so they're icebreakers.
Yeah,
What?
It-
That's cheating.
I know. So they come up here. So I thought I would read some of them to you. It's also Pride Month. So I thought it might be great to read some of them to you as well.
Yay.
And you could tell us your thoughts, opinions.
All right.
Do you guys want to start with the classic or the Pride?
Pride. It's
Yeah,
Pride Week.
why not?
Or it
So
was.
this might be a great prompt, and you're welcome to answer it. Who's your favorite LGBTQ plus icon and why?
Wait, it has to be a fat one?
We
Such a
can't,
bad joke.
We can't with
Such a-
her.
such a
we
bad
can't
joke.
with her. Not even him, her. My favorite
Wait, what did I
right
miss?
now.
Did you say plus?
Ugh.
I will say I previewed
What is
these.
yours?
I previewed these with my coworkers, and one of them was from one of the shows we were talking about earlier.
Mine's Glenn.
I hate you. Andy Cohen.
Oh, I love an Andy Cohen. I actually met
Like
him
he's
once.
very like cool and like
So
and
my
and what I love about him right now is that he used to be more filtered and now he's like way unfiltered.
Yeah, 'cause
like
he's
he's like
like,
I'm sick of
I
you
have the
crazy
money.
people.
I can do whatever I
No,
want.
he's like I'm sick of you crazy ladies screaming on my show.
Oh, I will say the latest reunion, he just like puts his foot down, and I just
Love
like
it.
love.
He used to never do that.
Remember, like in the early days, I think he almost got caught in a fight once. Like,
He had to pull people
Yeah.
apart. But like now he's being like stop.
so my coworker, she said Daniel Levy.
Yes.
I know.
We talked about that earlier
I know.
before we got here. Yeah.
If you could see this one, I find a little too deep for me. If you could time travel to any key moment in the LGBTQ plus history, which would you choose? Like for me, that's too heavy. I don't want to go into like politics. I don't want to go into like heavy moments.
I think I would want to go back to someone that was like out but in a bad time. Like a Rock Hudson or something like that. Like someone being like, how do you get through this life being all in silence? You know what I'm saying?
J. Edgar Hoover.
I mean,
Whoever.
I think
You know what I
that's
mean?
like
Like-
noble to want to know their struggle because I
Be like,
do
how
think,
is it? Because like I grew up where it was like a little taboo for a bit and then everyone doesn't care. So back then it was like, you're gonna die.
Well, I will tell you, like, as a clinician, I still see it baffles me.
Yeah.
But I still see clientele that their families are super against it
Yep.
and struggling with
Yep.
it. And I'm like,
It's still a thing. It's still a thing.
2023.
Mhm.
And then recently there was a community pride parade to happen at a town. And there was a group that were like, just like sending memes on social media about like, what are these people doing? And I was just like, have we time
Why-
traveled?
Yeah, like why
Like,
is it an issue?
What-
Are we going
this is-
backwards?
that's what I felt. So I'm like,
Yeah.
this is like a little too deep for me for a dating app, but I'm happy to talk to you guys about it. What song would be the top of your Pride playlist? I made a joke. I was like, it's Shania Twain. I
No.
feel like a woman.
No. Beautiful Christina Aguilera.
Oh,
And the reason why is when I came out, that song was a hit. So it stuck with me.
Dash, do you have something?
No.
Little YMCA maybe, like way back.
What, like an LGP?
Yeah, like
A Pride playlist.
little YMCA.
Probably something from Queen.
Ooh, I love Queen.
Ooh.
Oh, I know which one it is. I can't think of the name of the song though.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
No. I want to break free.
Oh, that's a good song too.
Yeah.
What LGBTQ plus movie or TV show should everyone watch?
Mary
Schitt's-
Tyler Moore.
Schitt's
I
Creek.
mean, we talked about
Schitt's
Schitt's Creek,
Creek.
so I feel like we're
Yeah.
kind of like in
Will
the mood
and
for
Will and
that.
Grace.
You don't think it's
I mean, we also talked about like there was a lot
Laverne
of
and Shirley?
No. No.
2, 4, 6.
Who do we appreciate? me.
I would say Will and Grace too.
I will say like that was monumental at the time. I will also say there's a lot in Sex in the City.
Oh,
That I think
yes,
is, like,
100%.
Very
Because they were
relevant for the
they were
time.
very 1990s and very like it's nothing.
Right.
Very forward thinking,
Mm-hmm.
nothing negative.
I mean, I found this one funny. I don't know that I would ever ask anyone this, but what would your drag name be? I wasn't even creative.
So it's supposed to be your first pet and the first street you grew up on.
I think that was your porn name.
That's your drag name.
Oh.
Are you sure? I thought
First
it was
pet,
both.
first street you grew up on.
Mine would be Happy Humphrey.
Mine would be Roberta Ruckers.
Oh,
Mine would be Brandy Lowell.
oh, no way.
That's the trashiest one here.
Yep.
That is a great stripper name.
Yep. I had a German Shepherd named Brandy growing up, and I grew up on Lowell Road in Westford. So Brandy
Brandy
Lowell.
Lowell would be, oh, that's a great stripper
She would be
name.
out at Mac 2's in Billerica at the
Oh,
soda
yeah.
bar. 2 for soda.
Plenty of my WA graduates.
I might have to start calling you Brandy Lowell.
I'm like, you're like grinning right now. I already knew. It was
I'm
like,
changing
what
it in
are
my
the
phone.
chances?
I'm changing it in my phone.
You know, she has an old court nickname now.
Let's not even go there.
Skins, because she always orders potato skins.
That's fine.
It's not bad.
Yeah. But I mean, like, when you're just yelling the word skins at me.
Everyone
like,
thinks she's
it's
naked.
a,
Yeah.
It's a little.
What else? I was like, hey, she's like, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'm like, yeah, it's Skins and Lynn's. Let's go.
All right, what's one more?
All right. So some of the classic is your last call go-to karaoke song. I think we've talked about this before.
Ooh,
We had
that's
this-
hard.
Did we ask when we had my dating show? We asked the Bachelors that
Yeah.
song.
Okay, so because you said Shania Twain, you got me into country mode,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say
I can do some country sometimes.
I would say Any Man of Mine.
Mm.
That's a fun song. Or
Interesting.
whose bed have your boots been under?
You know what's funny? Because my theme was always The Gambler by Kenny Rogers.
Oh.
Yeah.
I watched an amazing documentary about Shania recently. That's why I'm on this Shania Twain. It was on Netflix.
Top 5 places you want to visit. I will say this isn't like a prompt that I need, but this is like a running theme that I do talk to people about because they're always like, oh, what are you up to? And I'm like, oh, countdown to summer's off. They're like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, traveling. And then I'm like, where's the last places you've been? Where do you want to go? I think that's a good prompt. I like knowing.
What if somebody says Drake it?
Absolutely not. Even if they live in Drake, no.
Village Square.
Remember we talked about there's certain towns or cities it won't happen like that. We'll just take
That's a good question,
one
though.
more.
See, if
She
somebody
didn't even let us answer it.
Oh, go for it.
A place we really want to go visit?
Mm-hmm.
Greece. Or Italy. Amalfi Coast, to be specific. I would love to go see.
It's like I really don't want to be in such a love bubble with Scottie, but it's just like we are a perfect match. Like if you flipped the cards, because mine was I wanted to go to Greece this summer, and I did do Amalfi last summer.
A friend of mine just came back from Greece, like went on an impromptu trip to Greece.
Yeah, I wanted to go to Greece and Crete and Corfu, like a bunch of cool places.
I don't mind going to Ireland.
She wants to go see a bunch of dark, hairy men.
I'd love to go back. I'd love to go back to Italy and Ireland, but I want to go to Iceland.
Oh, I also want to go to Portugal.
Iceland would be
I
great.
love that Scottie has this idea that I want to go see this like dark man. I'm like, be in the Bahamas, a pasty redhead Irish person.
We're not going to go there. I can't emotionally handle it, and I'm not even involved.
All right, so we're all emotionally involved here.
Yeah.
You're not. Gonna,
We're all going to hang up.
We're all emotionally.
We're going to
involved.
hang up tonight and cry, but
No.
it'll be fine.
No, we're gonna listen to Shania. Get rowdy. For
There
some
you go.
potato skins. All right. Well, I guess thanks for joining us tonight.
Until next time, right?
I'm waiting for my producer to kind of sign us off, and he just won't get on here and sign us off. Everyone wants to see your face. Thanks for coming on. Also,
If anyone is interested in Michael Bacigalupo,
Oh.
he's single and ready to
we
mingle.
miss
Oh,
him.
I
Here
don't
he
know about that.
is. He got his screen time. All right.
Yep.
Good night,
Need a
everybody.
haircut.
Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
us.